Do you ever get into arguments where you know you're right, you know what happened, but you walk away feeling like you're the one who's going crazy? You start to second guess your own memory and sanity, wondering, did I remember that wrong? Am I always the one to blame? If that feels familiar, you are not imagining things. That deep sense of confusion isn't an accident, it's a psychological trap, and it has a name: gaslighting. It's a manipulation tactic so sneaky that victims often don't recognize it until they're already lost in a fog of anxiety and self-doubt. In this video, we're going to break down the deep-seated psychological reasons a narcissist needs you to feel this way. This isn't just about them being difficult, it's about a fundamental part of their personality. Understanding their motives is the first and most important step toward reclaiming your own sense of reality. Before we get into the reasons, it's important to understand a core truth. For a narcissist, gaslighting isn't just a tool they pull out when they're in a corner. It's often an automatic, deeply ingrained defense mechanism. Clinical research shows that people with strong narcissistic traits have often buried their true, authentic self under a false one, a version of themselves that is perfect, superior, and grandiose. Anything that threatens this perfect image, like a simple mistake, a criticism, or a flaw, feels like more than just an inconvenience. To them, it can feel like their entire world is crumbling. Gaslighting becomes the automatic shield that protects this fragile construction. They don't just deny reality to you. In a way, they have to deny it to themselves first. This constant need to distort the truth isn't just a bad habit, it's the foundation of the self-serving reality they live in. So as we explore the why, remember this: you're not dealing with someone who is just telling a lie. You're dealing with someone whose entire psychological stability often depends on that lie being the truth. The biggest driver behind gaslighting is the desperate need to protect their fragile ego. You see all that confidence and arrogance on the outside? It's often a front. Underneath it all, the narcissist's self-esteem is incredibly brittle. They've built a fantasy world where they are flawless, and admitting any fault would shatter that illusion. For a narcissist, taking accountability for a mistake feels like a direct attack. To admit, I was wrong, I forgot, or I hurt you, would be to see a crack in their perfect self-image, and that is intolerable to them. So they use gaslighting as their first line of defense. They can look you right in the eye and say, "That never happened," or "I would never say that." They aren't just trying to convince you, they're trying to convince themselves. They rewrite history in real time to erase any proof of their imperfection. They'll twist your words, claiming you're the one who is confused or can't remember correctly. This isn't about a simple disagreement. It's about psychological self-preservation. When you show them a version of reality where they made a mistake, you become a threat. By manipulating you into doubting your own mind, they neutralize that threat and get to remain the hero of their own story, while you get cast as the unreliable or crazy one. Narcissists have a deep-seated need for control. Control helps them create a predictable world where their fragile ego is safe from surprises or criticism. Gaslighting is one of the most powerful ways to establish and maintain that control. Think about it. Someone who is confident and trusts their own judgment is hard to manipulate, but a person who is anxious, confused, and constantly doubting their own reality is much easier to control. This is what gaslighting is designed to do in a relationship. The narcissist slowly dismantles your sense of reality until you become dependent on them to tell you what's real. They might say you're being too sensitive when they've been cruel, which makes you question your own emotional reactions. They might accuse you of being jealous when you question their suspicious behavior, making you doubt your intuition. They create a world where your feelings are wrong and your perceptions are unreliable. This keeps you in a constant state of confusion, always feeling like you're walking on eggshells. You become afraid to bring up problems because you know your words will just be twisted and used against you. That confusion you feel, it's not a side effect, it's the goal. In the world they create, they are the only authority on what's true, and that gives them the ultimate power over you. If this breakdown is starting to connect the dots for you, take a moment to subscribe. Our goal on this channel is to bring clarity and validation. By subscribing, you won't miss out on future videos designed to support you on your healing journey. A classic trait of a narcissist is their near pathological refusal to take responsibility for their actions. They often lack the empathy to understand the pain they cause, and their ego can't handle the burden of being at fault. Gaslighting is their escape hatch from any and all accountability. Instead of apologizing, they shift the blame. This is one of the most frustrating forms of gaslighting. For example, if they yell at you, they'll say, "I only yelled because you were pushing my buttons." If they break a promise, they might claim, "You must have misunderstood what I meant." Suddenly, their bad behavior is your fault. You're now the one who has to apologize for being too demanding or for provoking them. They are masters at rewriting the story to make themselves look like the victim or the innocent party. You could have undeniable proof of what they did, but they will deny, distort, and deflect until you're the one left feeling confused and guilty. This constant refusal to take responsibility means there's never any real resolution or growth. The same toxic patterns just repeat themselves because, in the narcissist's mind, they never did anything wrong to begin with. This last reason is maybe the most insidious of all. Gaslighting isn't just a defensive move, it's also a way to proactively test your boundaries. With every successful gaslighting moment, the narcissist is checking to see how loyal you are to their distorted version of reality. When they say, "You're making a big deal out of nothing," and you back down, you're unintentionally teaching them that you'll let them define your reality. When they deny something they obviously did and you give in, maybe just because you're exhausted, you're showing them that your perception can be worn down. Each time you accept their version of events over your own, your personal boundaries get a little weaker. You lose a bit more trust in yourself and put a little more trust in them. This is a slow, methodical conditioning process. They are training you to tolerate more and more manipulation. The more you put up with, the more they know they can control you. Your confusion becomes their security. So why is it so important to understand these motivations? Because realizing that their gaslighting isn't about you, but a reflection of their internal chaos, is the key to your freedom. It's not personal, you're not too sensitive, and you're not crazy. You are a rational person having a normal reaction to a completely irrational and manipulative environment. The narcissist's actions are a predictable pattern, driven by their own insecurities, their need for control, and their fragile ego. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to breaking the cycle. It allows you to stop playing their reality-bending games. You can stop arguing over the facts. You can stop trying to make them see your point of view. You can stop JADEing, justifying, arguing, defending, and explaining. You can disengage from the game once you see that it's rigged. Your power isn't in convincing them, it's in trusting yourself. A narcissist's impulse to gaslight you comes from a place of deep psychological fragility. They do it to protect their ego, maintain control, avoid accountability, and test your boundaries. It's a systematic dismantling of your reality, all designed to serve their needs. The most powerful thing you can do is to reclaim your own perception. Your feelings are valid, your memories are real, and that feeling of confusion is the ultimate proof that you are being manipulated. The moment you stop playing their game and anchor yourself in your own truth is the moment you begin to win back your life.